The objective for this video is to learn how to conduct a chi-square test for independence using the TI graphing calculator. In a previous video, we conducted a hypothesis test using the critical value and test value method in order to draw a conclusion about the number of hours worked per week by university students and their perceived effect on academic performance. The data consisted of the results of a survey that was separated into categories. Students were asked how many hours per week they worked, and then they were organized into groups: less than 11 hours per week, 11 to 20 hours per week, and more than 20 hours per week, and their response to a question about whether or not it affected their academic performance. Some said there was a positive effect, some said there was no effect, and some said that it had a negative effect on their performance. An important thing for us to remember about this table is that it contains 3 rows and 3 columns. The results of the test were that we would reject the null hypothesis, and our conclusion was that academic achievement is dependent on the number of hours worked. We will now use the TI graphing calculator to calculate a p-value that we will then compare to alpha, the level of significance for the test. In order to use the TI graphing calculator to find the p-value for a chi-square test of independence, we will need to enter the observed values into a matrix. So we will press second matrix, and then we want to edit matrix A. So we will cursor over to edit and press 1. Whenever we edit a matrix, we have to first specify the dimensions of this matrix. Our matrix had 3 rows and 3 columns. So we will press 3, enter for the number of rows, and 3, enter for the number of columns. Now we will enter the observed values as they appear in the table. Once the matrix is complete, we will press second quit. Then press stat, cursor over to tests, and then cursor down to C for chi-square test for independence, and press enter. We entered our observed values into matrix A, so we will make sure that matrix A is specified here. If a matrix other than A is already appearing here, then press second matrix, and under the menu names, press 1. In the prompt for expected, we are going to tell the calculator where we would like for it to place the expected values that it will calculate for us. If we would like that to be matrix B, then we will leave it set at matrix B. If we want it to be some other matrix, then we will perform the procedure that we did a moment ago. Cursor down and highlight calculate and press enter. In addition to the chi-square value, we are provided with the p-value for the chi-square test. The p-value here is 0.0075 when we round to 4 decimal places. The p-value is 0.0075, and alpha, we are told, is 0.05. Since the p-value is less than alpha, we should reject the null hypothesis. And again, our conclusion is the same as it was when we conducted this test using the critical value and test value method. Our conclusion is that academic achievement is dependent on the number of hours worked. In this video, we learned how to conduct a chi-square test for independence using the TI graphing calculator.